Hello world. I just wanted to make a quick 1% inspiration video. The idea behind the channel is I believe in the saying that the genius is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration. I have a lot of ideas. They come to me really quickly. I couldn't pursue all of them even if I had unlimited time and money. A lot of the ideas are really big, and they just would take a lot of time and effort to make happen. So I figure they're probably going to make the world either a better place or a cooler place. If they pop in my head, I record them as soon as they pop in there and throw it out there. And if it becomes real, that's cool. And, if you're one of the people that takes the ideas and runs with it and makes it real, I would really appreciate a 1% donation to the channel. Whatever you choose, that means like 1% daily profits, 1% monthly, yearly, whatever you want. It's your thing. Um, but I'm gonna kick you off. I'm gonna get you started. So this one just kind of popped in my head, and I thought it'd be cool for airlines. Um, it's actually really simple, and I'm surprised airlines don't do it because it would just be so freaking exhilarating. Uh, they have all kinds of extremely strong and powerful transparent mediums. So you can have multiple layered glass or acrylics. They actually have transparent aluminum now. It's not mass produced yet, but it is a thing that's real now. Maybe you could use that. Um, but the idea is that at the front of the plane, like at the nose of the plane or just under the nose of the plane, you would have a clear bubble, a clear dome or whatever, it could be a box, but you want it to be aerodynamic with the plane, so you'd have to kind of experiment with the shape, to you. There's engineers can do processes on shapes like that to figure out aerodynamics and all that. Um, but essentially, you would be adding on a clear compartment to the front or underbelly of the plane. Um, and what this front compartment would do, even though, when you think about it, it would cause like a little bit of drag on the plane because it would kind of extrude, no, it would protrude from the plane a little bit. Um, but essentially, it would just be a clear dome for just like a small group of people, like two people or something. Depends on how wide the plane is and how big you want to make the compartment. You could hang the seats from the ceiling, so that way there would be nothing. It would be clear beneath your feet and clear directly in front of you. And obviously, this would be like a special service. It would it would be really if you wanted to be one of the handful of people that get to sit in that compartment, like that would be an extremely exhilarating process. Like it would be terrifying but awesome. If you've been up into like one of the Sears Tower, for example, in Chicago. If you go up to the top and you can walk out over the side in like a clear box, and it's like freaking terrifying but awesome. Um, it would be like that on crack, like, because you would be going really fast and really high off the ground and shit, and you would be like, oh my god, freaking out, like. So, it would be like beyond first class. The shit would be expensive if you wanted to be one of the people that like sit in there. And there'd have to be all kinds of redundant safety features. And, I'm sure there's certain laws and stuff where, you have to have certain stuff within in the compartment, like your life vest, and there has to be an emergency way out, and all those things could be worked out. Those are just engineering problems, and there's plenty of people a lot smarter than me out there that can figure out all that stuff. Um, but yeah, essentially you would just have a small like completely clear compartment that has nothing obstructing its view. Like the plane, it would not be in your view. Would be part of the deal. Um, And so, whatever that means, like whatever placement is ideal for that, I would think like the nose or below the nose. Um, and, obviously there has to be access and all that stuff. But, if you're an airline, you're the people that make planes like Boeing, and you guys add that in there, then I'm sure there will be plenty of people willing to pay, pretty substantial amounts of money to be able to sit in a compartment like that, just because the experience would be so unforgettable and so, exhilarating that it would be like a big ass roller coaster ride, but better, like, the view, the potential views that you could get on rides like that would just be, phenomenal. It would be a once in a lifetime kind of experience kind of thing. So, even if it made the plane a little less efficient, like it caused a little more drag, so a little more fuel would be used in the flight. Like, I'm sure you could charge enough. Like, I'm sure, people pay a lot of money for once in a lifetime experiences. So, you could charge a pretty penny, to have that as an option. And the fact that it would only offer, a handful of seats would make it even more valuable because it would be scarce. So, I'm sure people would pay for it. So that wouldn't be the issue. As long as it's safe, that's the thing. As long as it's like redundantly safe, and there's multiple layers of like backup connections, and all everything is just redundantly safe. Um, but yeah, you'd have to work out certain issues with the aerodynamics not obstructing the view. You can just have like a straight box because it would be so poorly aerodynamic. But even if what was directly in front of you was obscured, like if what was directly in front of you was obscured, but you could look straight down, like that would still be an experience. But what's directly in front of you could be a window. It could be curved. It would be curved. You would have like curved windows in the same way that the pilot would have, but at the same time, it would be facing down. It would be, yeah, because you can't just have flat. There'd be too much drag. So you'd have to have like, windows similar to the pilot's compartment windows, and I'm sure you would be able to. Can I flip this camera around in one go? No, I'll have to do a separate video. Um, but yeah, you would just take inspiration from the pilot's cockpit windows. It would be similar to that, except instead of facing more instead of it being more up, it would be the opposite. It would be more down. But the more view and the more transparent it could be, the better. Like the more of an experience it would be. But it's not gonna be well, with transparent aluminum, you could have the entire thing transparent, because it would be strong enough to withstand like the pressures and all that. Um, but even if it wasn't a completely transparent compartment, if it's dramatically more transparent than any other thing, and you can see like directly underneath you, like straight down, or like you can see in front of you through at least like some like big windows, like the bigger the view, the more the experience. But you'd have to do a cost benefit analysis and all that, and you'd have to figure out the ratio between strength and visibility, because you the stronger it is, the more likely you'll have reinforcements obstructing your view. So like I said, this is just kind of like an idea. It's just kind of in the very beginnings, and you know, if you're a company like Boeing or something that, you know, has a bunch of engineers at your disposal that you can be like, hey, make this happen, and they figure out all those problems for you, then there you go. Um, but yeah, I think you kind of get the idea. That's the gist of it. So, you know, run with it if you want to run with it. If not, whatever. Like I said, you know, I'm throwing this out there. It's not like patented or anything like that. So if you just take it and run with it, it's not like I can do anything about it. I'm not gonna be mad or anything like that. You know, it's I like throwing ideas out there and seeing them become real and knowing like, hey, like that was my idea and it's real now. That's fucking cool. You know, like so that's kind of why I do this. But if you wanna donate, you know, 1% of the profits that come from this idea, I would really appreciate that too. But you know, whatever. Um, yeah, so that's it for now. I have a billion other ideas, but I'll just leave it to one idea per video. All right, love you, world.